Hey guys, welcome to my Etsy channel, where my primary objective is to help you build a thriving business on Etsy. If this is your first time visiting my Etsy channel, my name is Nancy. I am a digital marketing specialist, and I'm also an Etsy seller. And I do videos about Etsy to help Etsy sellers increase their sales and take their business to the next level. So if you are currently an Etsy seller or thinking of joining Etsy, make sure that you subscribe. This is the channel to be at. And make sure that you like, comment, and share this video on your Facebook or any social media platform. So let's go ahead and get started on this video. I'm gonna talk about how to create an Etsy listing, implementing the new changes that Etsy just made about a month ago, as well as getting an Etsy grade of A and how to do it properly. So I'm going to kind of talk about three different things. I'm going to walk through one of my listings step by step by step. I think this will be very helpful for a lot of people that have asked me to do this before. I did one a couple months ago, so this is going to be a little bit more in depth. So I'm just going to go step by step showing you the process of what I do to create a listing that is not only for someone that's viewing it as a viewer, but also is meeting the criteria of the search engine, and is also meeting the criteria of what Etsy wants. So it's kind of meeting all three metrics. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is my Etsy shop. This is a new one that I started. And this is just for entrepreneurs. I'm doing logos. I'm going to be adding more stuff. I haven't had the opportunity to add additional items, but this is the one I'm going to go ahead and do. So this is the listing that I'm going to talk about today. Any tools and resources that I talk about on this video, guys, the links are below. If you click on this video, there's a little text box. You could click there and you'll see all the links to all the resources that I'm currently using, plus additional stuff in there. So make sure you go in there and check it out. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is product photography, right? So that's the thing that I talk about all the time on my Etsy shop critiques, that I talk about on my Facebook group, and etc. So you want to make sure that when you're doing a listing, you use at least 10 images or less. I think on this one I'm using 9. However, try to use as many photos you can. Try to make sure that they're clear, that when somebody zooms into it, they could see the actual whatever you're selling, that is nice, that is cropped in a complimentary way, that is not distracting, that people know what they're buying. And most of all, that is very nice and clear, right? It's not distorted, it's not blurry. People are enticed to click on it to learn more, or they're enticed to click and view the additional pictures that you have. And what I did was, this is a pre-made logo that I sell. So for this pre-made logo, you get 4 logos included. I just did the main one in the front, and then I did mock-ups. These are mock-ups. You could buy these. This is not a picture of me. I wish I looked like this. This is actually a mock-up. And what you do is you go to Creative Market. I have the link below. And you could find mock-ups there for just about anything. For t-shirts, for logos like this, like a bag. You could find picture frames. You could find pillows. You could find pants. I mean, there's so many mock-ups in here. And it takes your pictures to another level. I think that if I was to take my own photos for my products, I don't think I would do that good of a job. I'm not a photographer. I would need to buy probably not expensive stuff, because I do have a light box that I use. However, I would probably need to be very, very creative and do stuff that I normally don't do on a daily basis to get the perfect lighting, to, maybe put like a white board on the back and then put the picture, and then put the item and take a picture. So for me, mock-ups are the best thing for me. I highly recommend that if you have something that you sell, that you could add it to a picture frame, or add it to a hat, or add it to a t-shirt that you could use in this company, Creative Market. I highly, highly recommend using it, because it's going to make your photos look so much nicer, like this one that it does for me. And then what I did was I added the second logo on a separate one with a really nice flat layout. I buy these in here as well. Keep that in mind. Everything I buy, either I get here or I have the links below to places where you could find images. So it's not that I make them. I don't make these. This is another photo I have. So I have the logo on the actual bag. And then because this is more for like a woman's logo, that's why I have it set up that way with that particular style. I have the other logo here. So as you can see, they could get a really good glance of which logos I'm selling. These are all 4 that come included, and they're really pretty. I even have it on business cards so they could get an idea. I got this at Creative Market as well. So I put it in a business card. That way they could physically see it, right? Because when you are selling on Etsy, all they have to go by is the photo. So your photos have to be amazing. They have to be clear. They have to understand what exactly they're buying before they even click to learn more or before they read the listing description. So that's the first tip. Make sure you fill out all 9, all 10, or at least I would say 6, the minimum 6 I would say. And when you do the photos, showcase them in different ways like I did. I have one in a bag. I have another one in a different color bag. I have one in a business card. I have just a plain logo. I have the plain logo zoomed in, and then I have the 4 logos together, right? So just different ways to showcase your item. So that's step number 1. So step number 2 is your SEO, right? So your search engine optimization is how search engine works when you type in a keyword. If you type in pre-made logo design, your logo will appear, right, for that particular keyword that you're searching. And you want to be able to be found organically. And you also want to be able to be found if you were to run an ad that you could place on the first page of Etsy. So what I highly recommend is doing your SEO research. Just don't guess any keywords. A lot of people be like, oh, this is a flower logo, spring logo, flower spring logo. Like they just guess keywords. Don't do that. That's the worst thing you could do. Take the time to do the diligence of doing your research. So you want to go to etsyrank.com. You want to do your keyword research, and you want to make sure that you pick keywords that are not oversaturated and that describe your item, right? They're for target audience that describe your item, and that they're not too broad either. So you don't want to say, if this is a logo, right, a pre-made logo, you don't want to use the word business. That's too broad. Business could be anything. It could be a notepad. It could be a logo. It could be a pillow for your business, right, for your sofa. It could be anything. So therefore, you are targeting the wrong people. You're showing your listing to a lot of people. However, that's when you see a lot of impressions and views on your store, but you're not making the sale. It's because you're showing the item to so many people that are not interested, right? They're not interested in buying this flower logo. So therefore, you have to make sure that your keywords describe what you're selling. So therefore, when somebody's typing in, oh, I kind of want to get a flowery logo for my shop, they'll type in spring flower logo, or they'll type in, flower logo, and then yours will pop up, right? My listing hopefully will pop up, and they will love it and buy it. So that's what you want to do. And all I use is, honestly, I use Etsy Rank. I use the free one. I don't pay. I think I'm going to start paying for the extra one just to learn more stuff on it. It's worth it. It's only $10 and you can write it off in your taxes. But as of now, I've been using the free one. And all I do is pretty much, I think of a keyword, right? So mine is a logo. So I'll put spring logo. And then what I do is I click on get keywords idea. It's going to spit out a whole bunch of keywords. And then what you want to do is you want to focus on just using I mainly focus on using just the green ones. So I'm sorry. So mine was spring flower. Sorry about that. Logo. So what I try to focus is on using only green ones. If I use any yellow ones, I want to use the ones that have less than 10,000 listings. And then if I also use, let's say I start using, to kind of give you an idea, if I use keywords that are very, very broad, I'm not broad, I'm sorry, oversaturated, meaning a lot of people are using, I'm aware of which keywords I want to use, because I know I'm going to pay a little bit more for my cost per bid. So sometimes I'll have like 1 or 2 because I really want to rank for that keyword. Now, if you don't really know how to play with your cost per bid and you're fairly new, I would stick with just using the ones that are green, or in the sense of they're less than 2,000 listings, those will be better for you because you will rank organically. And then if you were to run an ad, your ad would be like right on the first page of that search results for that particular keyword. So that's the nice thing about it. You will always be right in front. And keep in mind that people, when they shop, especially, I know I do this, you probably do this as well. People don't go after the third or fourth, maybe the third one, they might go to the third page of Etsy search results to find something. But after that, they won't go, right? So if you go to, and I'll give you an idea, because I know sometimes I assume that everybody knows what I'm talking about, but I need to start doing a better job of showing exactly what I'm talking about. So let's say this was your keyword here, right? Spring flower logo. What you want to do is you want to be in the first page. So this is one of mine's. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. So you see, I'm already in the first page. People normally, what they do is they go on the first page of Etsy. This one's mine. And then that one's mine and that one's mine. And this one's mine as well. But you see how I'm on the first page? But people normally might go to the second. Maybe. And these are mine too here. You see I have there. They might go to the third page, right? But after the third, they might not continue going, especially there's like over 100 pages to go. So what people normally do is that they end up making a decision on what they're going to get based on the first, second, or third page of Etsy. So this is what I'm talking about. You want to be featured on the first page of Etsy. You will rank organic. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. This keyword is ranking organically and my ad as well. So it's both. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you rank organically. And if you were to run an ad, that you're also ranking on the first page and be found that way. So therefore, what I do is I go to the keyword tool on xcrank.com and I start looking for keywords. So these keywords are too oversaturated. You see, there's too many people using them. I normally try to stick with, like, this one will be a really good one, floral wreath logo, because it's right under 2,000. Now, mine is not a wreath, so I wouldn't particularly pick that one. So I wouldn't choose that one. So what you want to do is you want to make sure also that just because it's a good keyword doesn't make it a good one for yours. So this one, you could save it. You could create a keyword list on Excel and kind of save it for if you are planning to do a wreath. So if you find a keyword that doesn't particularly work with the listing that you're doing, but you know it's going to particularly work with a different one, do that, right? Save that keyword for later, because then later you forget what keyword it was and you could have used it. And just keep doing this, and you keep looking. Maybe this one, botanical logo, since it's flowers. And then what I do is I normally just create the list. First, I just create the list. And then I also put the amount of competition, right? How many other people are using that particular list, right? Or that particular keyword. And then what I do is I try to gather 13 keywords or 13 tags. And then once I have all 13, that's when I decide which one is going to be my primary keyword. Which one describes my item the best, and which one has the least competition, or it has competition, but not so, not like this one here. So then I pick that one as my main one. And then the other tags I use throughout my listing description. And then I put them obviously on the tags, which is all 13, right? This is how I do my Etsy search results. This is all I do. And then I'll play with it. I'll put, if my logo is pink, I'll put pink flower logo. And then I keep doing that, right? I keep doing Longtail Keywords. That's what that is. Instead of just putting flower logo, I'll change it up and I'll put different keywords in front of it. So pink flower logo. And then I kind of see what Etsy search results gives me, right? So right now it's pulling up additional keywords. So here we go. So then you kind of go through them and you kind of see, okay, pink logo, but there's a lot of competition. I'm not going to use that one. And then you keep going and you find, okay, blogger logo. Okay, mine could be for a blogger. And maybe you write that one down, right? Now, I particularly like, I would say 4,000 will be my max. But my max is 10,000 listings, right? But if I have a lot of options like these here, then my max is like 4,000. If you don't have a lot of options, then your max should be like 10,000, because you don't want to pick keywords that are too competitive, because then you're not going to drive traffic either. Then you're going to be sitting there with no sales. So this is what I do technically. I just go through them. I write them down. Once I have my full 13 keywords, this is the new way that Etsy search works, or not how it works, but how they want you to do it. The reason why is because they're trying to simplify the system. They want to make sure that your title is easy to read, that the customer knows what they're buying, and it doesn't sound like unnatural, right? It doesn't sound like robotic. They don't want you to have like mouthy listings that have like 20 keywords in the title. They don't want that. They want the main keyword. So this is my main keyword, and then I added this one as an additional one. The reason why I added this one as an additional one is because this keyword is very oversaturated, but I'm paying my cost per click. I actually raised my cost per click this morning for this keyword because I want to start targeting people that use that one to kind of test it out. So I'm using that one. So I put a second one that I could actually get found organically as the second. And then what you want to do is you want to have a short caption that's intriguing for the person to want to click. So instead of having, like I normally have, let's say for this one, I have all these keywords, you see? So instead of having that, that's the old way that Etsy did it. They want you to do it this way. So what I did was I put pre-made logo design, spring flower logo, elevate your business to the next level with this beautiful logo. Simple. See? That's what they want. Then what you want to do is you want to put the main keyword that you put here. You want to use it right here. So obviously I didn't even do that. I was fixing this earlier. So what you want to do is go back. I'm going to edit mine real quick. And I apologize for that. That was my fault. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your pre-made logo design, that's my main keyword, is there. The reason why you want to have the keyword there, that's considered the meta description. And this is what people see when they search you, when they search in the search engine. So this is what people will see. So on Google, they're going to see that. You see, it's going to say pre-made logo design. And then here we'll say this pre-made logo design is a great way to set your business apart. The branding kit set includes 4 logos, giving you a variety of matching logos for your business. You want to have something short like that. You don't want to have nothing too long that's going to get cut off. So you want something that is under 160 characters that describes what you're selling, short, quick, what it is for, and that's it. That way it entices them to click and land on your page. But this is what Google shows, this section right here. So that's why it's important that you do that. A lot of people say, like, they don't know that. So this part up here, they just have like, shipping is not included, shipping is $35.99. They have like stuff like that. And that doesn't look great because when somebody looks at it, that's the first thing they're seeing. Shipping is not included. So they're like, I ain't clicking on that. So you want to make sure that this is enticing and it looks good. And then this is your Etsy preview. You see, this is what people are seeing on the search results. So you want to make sure that your logo or whatever you're selling looks nice, is not cut off, like the picture's not cut off, and they'll know what they're buying. So you want to make sure you fit these 2 criteria, okay? It's so important that you do that. So then what you also want to do is you want to take the additional keywords. And this is important. I talk about this in my videos. You want to use the additional keywords and put them in your listing description. You want to make sure they're natural. It sounds natural. You don't want to just stuff them in there. But you want to make sure they sound natural. I wasn't able to add all 13 only because it just becomes tedious after a while and it looks like I'm trying to put them in there. But I did use like 6 or 7. The reason why you want to do that, that's considered an on-page SEO factor. And what that does is that the more keywords you have in your listing description, when somebody is searching for your logo or for whatever you're selling on the search results, they're called queries. They're search queries. And whenever you have different keywords, Etsy will take those pages that have all these keywords that the customer is looking for, and they actually will take your item and put it in the search results for that person to find. So the more keywords that you add in your listing description, in your attributes, in your categories, and then also your all 13 tags, the more traffic you would drive to your shop. I will say it one more time. The more keywords that you add here, that you put them here, like this one here. Like for instance, I put here spring logo here. The more keywords you add throughout your listing description, in your category, and also, right, also in your attributes, and then you use all 13 tags on top of that, the more chances of people finding your store, because Etsy is going to push you to the search results. So this is something that you have to take the time and do. And you will have to, make sure that it flows, because if it sounds too forced, or if it sounds too like it doesn't make sense on the sentence, it's going to look bad on you. So you have to make sure that you take the time and you do it. I have this one here, this pre-made logo kit. This is a do-yourself pre-made logo. That's one of my keywords. See, do yourself pre-made logo. You want to include them in your listing description. Now, also keep in mind that your category, right, and your attributes when you're doing a listing, right? So let's go inside my listing. The categories and attributes work together to match your listings, or Etsy uses them to match your listing with shoppers on Etsy. So you want to make sure that, let's say, right here. So these are what I'm talking about, right? So graphic design, design and template, that's the category. You don't want to use graphic design and then use that as a tag as well, right? You don't want to do that. Some people have here graphic design and then they use it as a tag. You don't want to do that because you're wasting a space. The graphic design is already working as a tag. Design and template is already working as a tag. Stationery is already working as a tag. Party and paper supplies, all of these are working as a tag. And then when you add attributes like colors, or if you add occasions, I didn't add an occasion because it doesn't really go with that, or you add a holiday. So if you have Mother's Day as a holiday, you wouldn't put Mother's Day down here as a keyword. The reason is because this one is already, when you choose it here, is already acting as a keyword. Get it? So you're going to have, so for instance, right now I have the 13 keywords down here, right on the bottom, right here. And on top of that, I have this keyword here, these two, that's 14, 15. And then I have these these attributes. So 15, 16, 17 keywords I could potentially rank for. That's what you want. You want to use every single little thing that you could describe your item. Now, everything is not going to be for you, right? Because I couldn't choose an occasion and I wasn't able to choose a holiday because this is a logo, so it doesn't really go with that. However, if you do sell stuff that is for a specific occasion or a specific holiday, if you put Christmas and you pick Christmas, don't use it as a regular tag. You're wasting a space. Use that tag for something else. So make sure that you do that. All these tags work together. So the Etsy tags, the regular tags, which are your keywords, the category tags, and the attributes all come together and they work together in order for, they're called queries, and that's when somebody types in something on the search results of Etsy, they trigger this response to your shop and they pull your shop and show them to that person. So keep that in mind. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that I see a lot of people do is that they'll have their shop name as a tag. Don't do that. If your shop is not, unless you are, unless people are searching your name by your shop because you're popular and you're like, you have a brand, that's when you use it. In the beginning, if you're not there yet, don't use it. You're wasting a tag, basically. Do not use it. And also, don't include misspellings. Like, make sure you check your tags in case you did misspell a tag. I mean, it's happened to me. On Etsy rank also, you could check your spelling. It does a scan of all your listings, and it tells you every single listing is messed up, and you can actually fix it through Rank without having to go to Etsy.com. So I would recommend doing that, just to double check that you don't have no misspellings, because if you misspelled it wrong, then you're not gonna, get any traction from that keyword or that tag. Another thing is, use multi-words, but don't use I'll give you an idea. This is what I mean. So if you're selling a necklace and it's a custom necklace, don't use one keyword custom and one keyword necklace, right? Use multi-words, meaning combine them together. So instead of using custom, and that's one keyword, necklace, that's two keywords, use it together and put custom necklace. That's one keyword now. And that's going to give you more space for additional tags. You want to make sure that you think about that next time you do a keyword. A lot of people, I see that when I do the reviews, they have two keywords that they could have combined together and made one keyword out of. So make sure that you keep that in mind. It will free up for another tag for you to use. And then the last thing is, use long tail keywords. A lot of times those are so much better, because if you're selling, and this is an example I started using just because we had a conversation about this on my Facebook group. Baby headband is very, very oversaturated. So what you want to do is, if you sell baby headbands, you want to put like an additional keyword. That way you can make a long tail keyword and hopefully find keywords that you can rank for. So if it's baby headband, so you would do pink baby headband, or nylon baby headband, or brown baby headband, or brown infant headband. That way you could start looking for keywords that still describe your item, but that you could potentially rank organically. And also when you run an ad, whether it's on Etsy or Facebook or Google AdWords, you're not paying so much money, because now you're using a keyword that's so oversaturated that you got to pay so much money. Or even if you lower your cost per bid to, let's say, 10 cents per click, that particular keyword, because so many people are using it, you're going to be stuffed and buried all the way down somewhere in the search engine results, because you don't want to pay a regular price for your cost per bid. So it's so important to keep that in mind, that if you are in a saturated niche and you can't seem to find keywords, and you're struggling to find keywords, do long tail keywords. And you'll start noticing that you'll start finding keywords that you're still using that main keyword that you wanted to use, and you're still finding keywords that you could rank organically, which is what you want to do, basically. So once you have the keywords, like we talked about, put the main keyword here, put that same keyword here. Throughout your listing description, put in all the other keywords if you can, as many as you can. Make sure that flows natural. Put all 13 keywords here. Make sure you use attributes. Make sure you use categories. The next thing I want to talk about is your listing description. So the listing description is basically what helps the customer build credibility from you. So the photo is what made them click on the actual listing. They're like, wow, this is amazing. The keywords, right, is how they found you, right? That's how they found your logo or found your, I don't know, whatever you sell. And then the listing description is what makes them want to buy from you. It's what closes out the sale. They read the listing description. They know everything and anything about that listing. I see people put reviews on the listings, or they talk about why they started their shop. Do not put that. Remove that. Just put, that's why it's called listing description. That's what that means. It means you describe what you're selling. How to order is a big one, because a lot of people are new to Etsy. They really don't know how to order. What's included, shipping policies, what you would get, the time frame that you will get it on, return and refunds. Do you have a refund? Like, I don't have no refund policy, because if you order from my shop and you get it automatically, it's an instant download, so there's no refund. If it's a custom order and I haven't started it and you want to cancel for whatever reason, then yes, I could cancel. So you want to make sure that you put that in there. You want to make sure you put a backlink to your page, to your homepage. That way when they go on the bottom, they don't click on the back button. You want to make sure you include any matching items. If you have other stuff that goes with that particular product. So if you have matching items, you put it there. If you have I put here, view my collection of floral logos. So they don't want to buy this one, but they're interested in buying some type of floral logos. They could click there and it will open a page where I have all additional logos that have flowers, right? There's 46 of them. So they'll be able to shop through there. So making sure that you have links or backlinks, these are called backlinks, to other pages or other categories of your shop is very, very crucial. Because that way you're keeping them longer in the page. You also avoid unnecessary messages. You will still receive messages from people saying, hey, how come, what price is this? Or how do I order? Or what's included? You will get those people. However, there are people out there that read every single thing. They read the listing description. They read your about me section. They look at your reviews. They see how long you've been there, how long you've been an Etsy seller. They check everything before they buy. Some people don't, right? It just depends on who you get. However, it's important to add as much information as you can. Another reason why I always tell this on my videos is because, God forbid, that person opens let's say a claim against your shop by you having all this information in there. They can't later say, well, she never told me that, or he never explained that to me. It's in there. So if they didn't read and they just purchased and you did all the work and you send it to them, or you did the shipping and they got there, whatever, like a day late or whatever, they can't, Etsy will not take their side. Etsy will abide by you because you did everything you're supposed to and you're an ethical seller and you have all the information that the person should know in your actual listing description. So it's important that you include everything in here, or as much as information. Now, I'll show you what an Etsy rank is, right? Like the grade. And I always talk about this. I always say, just because you have an A, right, on that listing doesn't necessarily mean that you chose the right keywords, right? Because you could be using keywords that are too broad. So you want to make sure you use keywords that are not broad and they target your audience. And this is what it looks like. So I have on this particular listing an Etsy grade of A. The reason it's A is because I'm meeting the criteria that supposedly Etsy wants. They want me to use best practices, right? They want me to focus on writing a shorter. They even said this should be a little bit shorter. Okay. It's a little bit too long, you see? Even then it's long and I don't think it's long, but it's up to you, right? At some point you have to decide, okay, do I tweak it or do I leave it how it is because it's actually pretty good? So you have to decide. Don't take every single thing they say and change it, especially if it's not going to make sense and you're shortening it down too much. So for me, I'm going to leave it because I think it's fine. I actually made it shorter, but the best practice, right, is to write a short, clear, descriptive title, making it easy for shoppers who are scanning, right, to know what they're buying. See? That's what they want. Tag analysis, right? Out of all 13 tags, they want to make sure that, am I repeating the same tags? Am I using tags that are easy to find, right, in the sense of organically? I am. All these tags here, I could get found organically. Except this one. But this is the one that I'm trying to target. I'm doing a little experiment on that one. And my cost per bid on that one is a lot higher because of it. But as you can see, I'm using keywords that I could rank for and not keywords that are too oversaturated. All my keywords really describe what I sell. They all have floral or logo on it. I didn't put business or blogger or business owner or Etsy owner. I didn't put keywords like that. That's too broad. And I would be targeting anybody. Versus if I put do-it-yourself pre-made logo, people that are looking for pre-made logos, that works for them. Or they're looking for a spring logo. My logo is kind of spring, it's flowery. So that would be for them. Attributes, I have my attributes. I have pink and black. So the logo has more pink, so that's why I put primary, that one. And black is the wording of the logo, so that's perfect. Category, am I in the right category? Yes, logo and branding. See, so all of these give me a check mark. Did I use all 13 tags? Check. Did I do my attributes? Check. Did I do my category? Check. Did I do my description? Check. Now, my description, it does say, is a little bit long, you see? For me, it's not long because I'm describing exactly what they're buying. So you're going to have to play with this and decide, okay, do I need to make it smaller or not, right? For me, I'm okay with it because I'm actually describing everything they need to know. It's separated into sections, so that way there's no confusion. It's easy to scan. So if they just want to know return and policy, it's right here. If they just want to read what's included, it's right there. It's easy. It's not a block of text that when they're looking at it, they're like, oh my God, this is a lot to read. So for me, I'm leaving it like that. Best practice is use all 10 images. Did I use all 10? No, but I used all 9. That's why it's still green. Is it recommending me to use all 10? Yeah, of course. And then the preview. So my Google preview, do I have a good meta description? Yes, I do. And do I have a photo that's not cut off, that is precise, that people could see it and understand what I'm selling? Yes. So this is the proper way to do a Etsy listing from your title to your listing description to the type of keywords you're using, how to place them, your photos, your meta description, and your actual listing photo. So you have to practice this. The more you practice it, the more you do it every single day, the easier it's going to become. And then later you're like, wow, this is a lot easier than I thought. And it's just practice, practice, practice. But just keep in mind the tips that I gave. Your photos have to be amazing, or as amazing as you can get them, right? Somebody might look at my photos and say, well, her photos are okay. For me, this is the best I could do. So for me, they're pretty amazing. Can I probably make them better? Probably. And I'm constantly working on that. I'm constantly looking at it and saying, can I make this photo better? And you'll see throughout months, I'm always changing my pictures. And that's because I get feedback from people, or I find other mock-ups. I'm like, oh, that one's better than mine. So then I go and switch it again. So, but you gotta be open to criticism, right? Not positive, constructive criticism, but you have to be open to it. So making sure your photos are good, making sure you're using your main keyword in the title and putting a nice caption, making sure your main keyword is here as well. Sprinkle the keywords throughout your listing description, have all 13 tags, make sure you put the attributes and the categories. If you do this on every single listing, when you least expect it, the sales will start rolling in. But you have to make sure you practice all that. And you have to make sure that your SEO also is up to par. That you go and you do the research and you're finding keywords that you could rank organically for. You don't want to use keywords that are going to be too broad, that you're never even driving any type of traffic. It's better to drive a smaller amount of traffic, but they're more targeted people, than to drive tons of people, but no one's buying from you because you're just showing your listings to anybody and everybody. So I hope that this video was helpful for you to have a better understanding of how to properly write a listing description for Etsy. Guys, if you have any questions about this video, any comments, any suggestions, leave them below on this video. If you like it, leave a like below, like type just the word I love this video. So make sure that you give me feedback so I can understand if videos like this actually do help you guys, or is it videos that you guys don't want to, you guys don't really care for. So make sure that you give this video a thumbs up or a negative if you didn't like it, because feedback is feedback for me. And make sure that you don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.